Alright, so I feel like I can make this video because I've done a few numbers, maybe not from on my hand for the amount of women that I've been with that are taller than me. So for guys that are, awfully short, let me let you guys on to something. Yes, women do care about height. There's no denying that. But here's the thing about this. There are some women that do not care about height. There are some women that only care that you're only a little bit taller than them. And then the ones that do care about height, I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret. They will have sex with you, but they will have sex with you on the low. Here, let me explain. So what I mean by this is that the women that are eventually taller than you, some, not all, let's get that straight, some women will find you sexually attractive. If they do find you sexually attractive, they will have sex with you on the low. And what I mean by that is like, let's put it for example. I know how like some of you guys go on dating apps, or that like fat, chubby, whatever girl that's like in your class or somewhere in your school or that you met online. Some of y'all won't go out on dates with her. You won't want to be seen in the public with her, but you will sleep with her on the low, right? You see how that works? You get what I'm saying? Some girls are exactly just like that with some short guys. For example, like me, I had a girl, right? I'll give you two good examples. I had a girl who was taller than me. She was 6 foot. We worked at the same place. It was like a restaurant around campus. So eventually, I guess, I don't know how it ended up happening. We ended up matching on a dating app. I think this is weird. I don't know what was going on. I guess I was just flicking through the dating app, and next thing you know, I seen the girl, and I was just like, ain't no way this girl's on here. So I just swiped right anyway, just to see what would happen. And I kid you not, I promise you, maybe 30 minutes later, the girl swipes right on me. Then she messages me and is like, oh, hey, don't we work together? I'm like, ugh, here we go with this. I'm thinking maybe she's gonna make fun of me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. And then she says, cool, like, I wouldn't mind like getting to know you or, actually talking. So in my head, I'm thinking, girl, you're 6 feet tall. Like, what? Okay, this is pretty interesting. So I said, okay, in my mind, okay, you sure, like, you don't really care for this thing? And I asked her this, you don't really care? She's like, I don't really care as long as, you're attractive, you're cute, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, okay, we'll give it a try. So me and the girl eventually ended up going, somewhere. I can't remember where we ended up going. I think this was like somewhere like in Atlanta. I guess we got like some ice cream or something together. And I'm like, okay, cool. She asked to come to my place. Remind you, I didn't ask nothing. She asked. She was like, yeah, can we go to your place? I said, cool, fine, let's go. So we go to my place. I kid you not. Yes, your man, yes. Me. And if you don't know how tall I am 5'6". And the girl is 6 feet tall. I kid you not. It was no different. Everybody's the same height when you laying down. Everybody's the same height, you feel me? But when that happened, I guess eventually she told people the next day at work that we had sex and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't work that the next day. I worked the day after. So I come back, I find out all this information, and everybody's telling me like, hey, y'all did such and such. She was telling us like she had a great time with you, blah, 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 and this and that. And then me and the girl was like consistently still texting. She was still like, hey, when can we hang out? When can we hang out again? In my head, I'm thinking only girls that are taller than me wouldn't necessarily talk to me. And that's completely BS. I mean, look at the situation with Megan Thee Stallion and what's his name, Tory Lanez. There's some, like I said, there's some women who would sit here and they will, they'll have sex with you on the low, and some don't want to be seen around you. But even if you build that personality, that chemistry, or whatever, it has to be something about you that she's gonna like about you, in order for y'all to really like connect and vibe, and for you to actually be with them taller women, if that's what you into. So that's eventually what ended up happening. I ended up, we did it maybe like another time, blah blah blah, but I had to end that real quick because I was getting out of that job. Things was getting hectic. I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. So I ended up leaving that. Still to this day, she still hits me up. Mind you, this girl is 6 feet tall. I am 5'6". You see the difference? Crazy. But then there's also some women. I could give you another example. There's this girl that I didn't recently meet, but I met a while ago. She was taller than me. She went to some college around in Atlanta. We met up. We talked on, I think this was like Tinder. We met up. We eventually went out somewhere. This was like some like arcade place. We're having fun. It was fun. Everything was good. It was good. But she was kind of like iffy about my height. I was like, I can kind of sense that. So then after the date, we went back to my crib. We got to talking. She was saying all these type of things like, for a guy your height, I'm really not into that. Like, your type. Like, I'm not really into short guys. Blah blah blah. Saying all of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine, whatever. We're to leave. Like if you don't want to do this, whatever, you can go and be it. And she was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. So what eventually happened is we ended up talking even more. But what I started to realize was that she didn't want to necessarily go out anymore. The only time she wanted to see me was for me to come over to her, or for her to come towards my house, but I had to pick her up. So then I started realizing, like, damn, over time we would have sex, but she didn't necessarily want to be seen with me. Whenever I would be like, sometimes I'm like, hey, I wanted to date some of my women, but some women just don't want you just to be dating, or they don't want that type of anything with you. They just want to have that wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and you out. But for this woman, we was just having constant sex. I think we lasted maybe like 3 or 4 times until I got to a point to where she was getting, started playing these, these little games, trying to, blow me off. She was trying to give me signs of like, hey, I'm done with you. I don't really want to do this. Obviously, she kept throwing little hints back and forth at my height, little testing me. And I never phased it. I was just like, hey, I could care less. But what I'm trying to get to the moral of the story is that there are some women out there who will want to be with you if you're looking for that relationship. And then there's those women who will have sex with you if you're looking to just have sex with taller women. And then there's those women, like I said, who just don't want to deal with short guys in general. Don't beat yourself over it, because like I'm saying this again, there are women who will do it. If you're having sex on the low and that's just what you want to do, you just have a sexual attraction for some taller girls, hey, do that. I mean, I can count on my hands how many I've had that were taller than me. 5'10", 6 feet. The tallest girl I probably been with was probably 6'4". Like I said, like I remind you, so I'm 5'6", 6'4", 5'6". You do the math. I mean, we're the same height when we lay down. That's how I always tell them. So it's really nothing, but your chances of getting them is really low. Unless you're high value, unless you're just sexually attractive, unless you just you have to build some type of build something about yourself. Like if you're in a school where you go to, I don't know, some university, you have a little bit of clout, a lot of people kind of know you, blah blah blah. Do something like that. Get your name out there. And eventually you'll start seeing, like, it doesn't matter how tall or whatever, as long as females see, like, who they want to know, who is this guy? What is so special about him? Trust me, women talk. When other women start hearing about you, other women are going to be curious. It doesn't matter how tall, how short, blah, 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 whatever. You do your thing, and guess what? Women are going to talk and tell other women about it, and then that's going to be it, man. And I'm telling you, you are going to be able to have sex with those taller women if that's what you're looking for. But that's the truth. The hard truth is that, hey, they will have sex with you on the low. You better be prepared for that. Just like some of you guys like to have sex with some fat women on the low, you don't want to be seen with them, or you don't really want people to notice about it. The same way women are gonna have sex with you that are taller than you, that are gonna have sex with you on the low. So all right, I'm out of this thing. I hope you guys like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna be posting more videos and more content. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do another video about anything else. All right, I'm out of this thing. All right, peace, dude.